There's a funny thing about speed. It never feels the way you expect it to. Ask anyone who's ever twisted the throttle for the first time, their eyes wide, their stomach left somewhere behind in second gear, and they'll tell you, that was insane. But come back to them a few months later, and they'll shrug. Yeah, it's quick, but I'm kinda used to it now. Welcome to the illusion of speed, the silent addiction every rider eventually develops. Because no matter how fast your bike really is, your brain will always find a way to make it feel, well, normal. Let's start with your head, not the helmet, but the thing inside it. Your brain is the world's most sophisticated onboard computer, but when it comes to speed, it's hilariously analog. It doesn't care about numbers, kilometers per hour, miles per hour, or tach readings. All of those are human inventions. The brain measures something more primal. It measures change. The rate at which the world moves past you, the way light shifts, how fast the scenery blurs, how the wind tears at your senses. That's what fasty is. It's not motion itself, but the perception of motion. It's why doing 80 kilometers per hour in a quiet car feels like standing still in a moving living room. Air-conditioned, sealed, isolated, while doing 80 kilometers per hour on a naked bike feels like you've just insulted the gods of aerodynamics and they've come for revenge. The difference isn't speed, it's input. Your brain collects an entire orchestra of data points. The howl of the wind building against your helmet, the subtle vibration through the bars, the hum of the engine between your legs, the blur of asphalt skipping beneath your boots, the lean that tells your inner ear you're cheating gravity. Every one of those sensations is your nervous system whispering, or sometimes screaming, you're moving fast, but here's the twist. Your brain is a master of adaptation. Feed it the same signals long enough, and it starts filtering them out, like background noise in a cafe. The wind? Normal. The lean angle? Familiar. The danger? Just a regular Tuesday. That's why a beginner feels like they're doing light speed at 60 kilometers per hour, while an experienced rider yawns at 180. It's not that the bike changed. You did. Speed stops being a thrill and starts being data. And once your body normalizes that flood of input, a strange hunger grows. You start craving more. More acceleration, more lean, more noise. Anything that can break through the mental filter your own brain built. That's how every rider becomes an addict. Not to speed itself, but to the feeling of it. Because once that sensation fades, you don't slow down. You chase it. It starts innocent. You buy a 300cc sport bike. It's shiny, light, forgiving, the perfect partner for your heroic parking lot adventures and cautious first highway merges. You feel alive, unstoppable. Every acceleration feels like a brush with chaos itself. 6 months later, you find yourself thinking, it's kinda slow. That sane throttle twist that once stretched your grin now barely lifts an eyebrow. Corners that used to feel like dance floors now feel like crosswalks. So, naturally, you start looking. A 600? Sure, why not? You tell yourself it's for safety because you need more power for overtaking. That's what you'll tell your friends anyway. Next thing you know, you're test riding a liter bike, wondering how 180 horsepower can somehow feel reasonable when the mirrors stop being useful at 120. Give it a few more weekends, and you'll be deep in the algorithm watching dashcam videos titled Hayabusa Top Speed No Limiter at 2 a.m., whispering, I'm just curious. Like you're trying to justify a Google search your conscience doesn't approve of. The truth? Your old bike didn't get slower. You got faster. You grew in skill, in confidence, in what your nervous system now accepts as normal. That 300cc isn't any less capable. Your perceptions simply recalibrated. And here's the sneaky part. Adrenaline tolerance. is a real thing. The first few times, the rush hits like a sledgehammer. Heart pounding, pupils wide, lungs full of wind. But ride long enough and your brain adapts. It's stingier with the dopamine. It's like chasing that first sip of espresso. It never hits quite the same again, so you pour another shot and another. Motorcycles, bless them, are the perfect delivery system for this addiction. They're engineered temptation, one twist away from euphoria. But here's the cruel joke of speed. The faster you go, the less fast it feels. Every Junkie performance dulls the thrill just enough to make you want the next one. And so, riders don't evolve, they escalate. Speed isn't absolute, it's contextual. Try doing 60 on a bicycle downhill. You'll be terrified. Do the same on a motorcycle, and you're barely awake. Now take a sport bike on the Autobahn at 200 kilometers per hour. Smooth, stable, aerodynamic bliss. But drop that same speed on a narrow mountain pass, trees blurring past, and suddenly you're in an action movie with your own theme music. It's not the number that matters. It's what's happening around you. Even racetracks play with this. Watch MotoGP. The bikes look slow because the track is wide, the camera is steady, and there's no visual reference. Stand next to the same corner in real life, and your soul will need a software update. Here's the dangerous part. Most riders don't recognize the illusion, so they fight it. When 120 feels slow, the instinct isn't to slow down. It's to push harder. 130, 140, whatever it takes to feel that same rush again. And when even that doesn't work, the search begins. A new machine with a bigger number on the tachometer. It's not bravery, it's simply biology. Humans have a terrible habit of confusing boredom with progress. If it doesn't scare us anymore, we assume we've outgrown it. So we buy faster bikes, sharper tires, louder exhausts, all to chase a feeling that keeps running away. And the industry knows this. They've turned it into poetry. Faster, lighter, meaner. Every commercial whispers that the next upgrade isn't just a motorcycle, it's transcendence. But here's the fine print no one reads. Speed, like caffeine, has diminishing returns. The first sip wakes you up. The 10th just gives you the shakes. Every time you raise the bar, the high gets shorter, the risk gets longer, and before you know it, you're one mistake away from learning physics the hard way. That's the real cost of chasing fast. You know what actually feels fast? Ironically, some of the slowest bikes feel the fastest. An old 250cc single with a raspy exhaust, vibrating mirrors, and suspension made from marshmallows will give you more excitement at 80 than a GSXR 1000 at twice that speed. Why? Because it engages all your senses. It shakes, it moves, it demands your attention. It feels alive. Meanwhile, the modern supersport does everything it can to hide motion. Aerodynamic bodywork, refined suspension, stability control, traction management. It's a miracle of engineering, a miracle that ruins the feeling of speed. That's the paradox of progress. The better bikes get, the less alive they feel. So, how do you beat the illusion? You chase better moments, riding a twisty road you've never seen before, nailing a perfect corner exit, riding in the rain, and realizing you're not scared anymore. That's speed, the kind that lives in your brain, not your dashboard. The joy is in connection, not acceleration. If you want something that feels fast, get a bike that talks to you. Something that makes noise, vibrates, and punishes bad technique. Bikes like this let you feel every bit of motion, every gear change, every heartbeat. They won't flatten the world beneath electronics. They'll make you part of it. The illusion of speed doesn't live in horsepower. It lives in feedback. In the end, the illusion of speed isn't a flaw. It's a mirror. It's the reason why we keep throwing a leg over again and again. And the best riders aren't chasing faster bikes. They're chasing that first ride feeling. The one where you looked at the horizon, twisted your wrist, and realized the world was bigger than you thought, and faster than it'll ever feel again.